Hello, my golden viewers of gold. Here is one of my favorite quotes in the world. Michael Jordan says, I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Do not let failure stop you. Try again and again and again. Now, are you ready to go for gold? If you're ready, and I'm ready, let's go for gold.
Grateful for the business, even if it has its ups and downs. Grateful for life, even if it has its ups and downs. Because from the moment you find out you are dying, you start appreciating living.
Never transfer my children. Keep them until I come back. If I don't come back, keep them and grow them up.
Gold has become gold. It's become the gold of courageous conversation. It's become the gold of change makers making a difference. And it's become the gold of hope in this country.
Most of the important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying when there seemed to be no help at all. And most importantly, define and know exactly what you want. And just like Clement Stone, definiteness of purpose is the starting point of full achievement. What exactly do you want? How do you want it to be? Prioritize it, picturize it or visualize it, and then actualize it. A champion did. Our golden champion of the day is here. Let's go for gold with our champion. On Gold, we uncover stories that remind us of our worth. Our champion rose beyond limitation, proving that vision can outgrow circumstance. What began in struggle now stands as a symbol of strength and possibility. Some people call her the impossibility that is possible. I personally admire our champion because she lost people, lost friends, her husband, and career, but she never lost hope. The founder and the CEO of African Brand Architects is a beauty with brain. Her beauty to me is a thing of joy forever. Be inspired to go for gold with a beautiful golden soul. Listen, faith, resilience, and greatness is speaking on Gold.
My name is Shereen Hunter, and thank you for having me on Gold. So the advice that I would give someone who's thinking about leaving a job with his financial security and going into their own business, number one, capital, capital, capital. You need money saved. You need a nest egg to sustain you at least 6 months to a year in your own business. Why I was successful is when I left corporate, I didn't leave corporate and earn nothing. I had a husband, I had a provider. So that made it easy for me to start my own business. I never worried that my rent was paid or there would be food on the table or petrol in my car. I knew if I'm having a tough time on startup that he was 100% ready to support me in that. So it's not like I just left my job and blindly walked on water with no money. I had financial security in that I was married and I had a husband who could provide. And that gave me the security and the time I needed to get on my feet. For that, I will always be grateful. If you're not married and you're a young woman and you're in corporate, you need to know if in the absence of a husband that you have got money in the bank that can keep you going while you're building your business. Because I think the biggest mistake people make when they do leave a job is that they start their own business without any nest egg. And then what could be or should be a blessing actually becomes a burden because you can't live out of your own business when you start a business. So what I would say is if you feel like you're at the bottom with the bottom on top of you and you feel like you're not enough and you cannot see the end of the situation that you are in, I'm going to start off with something very practical. I studied psychology, so the most important thing, even before anything else, is to make sure your body is healthy. Because without your health, it's very difficult to build anything else. Simple things, getting enough sleep at night, drinking enough water during the day, and eating as nourishing food as you can. Your body must be positioned to build. And then on top of that, you build your faith. very hard to build your faith when your stomach is hungry or when your mind is not in the right place. And it starts with the body, looking after your body, not drinking alcohol, not taking drugs, not living on medication unless it's prescribed by a doctor. These are such simple things, but they are things that people completely overlook. But I can tell you, having gone through depression myself when my husband passed away, having moved out of my home, having to give up his business, I went through hard times. And I only really got a grip on my emotions when my body became healthier, because stress is a killer. Number 2, you must have a foundation in faith, whatever your foundation is. You must, I believe in something more than yourself. For me, my faith is in God. That's what anchored me during turbulent times, because I was able to say up to here, and I can't go any further, and I surrender, Lord, to you. That was a big part of my healing journey. The third thing I would say is really put a guard over your tongue. What you speak with your mouth, so shall it be. And be conscious of the words that are flowing out of your mouth, what you speak over your life, what you speak over your children, what you speak over your business, your finances, your family. Because those words, I am, become a self-fulfilling prophecy. I am tired, I am weary, I am depressed, I'm not good enough, I am struggling. If you repeat these things to yourself over and over and over again, you never move beyond that. So really watch what comes out of your mouth. The next thing I'd like to say to you is surround yourself with the right people. And it's very difficult. Sometimes it's your family that are negative. Sometimes it's your friendship circle. Sometimes it's people at work. But insofar as what you can, guard your ears, guard your eyes, and guard your heart. To be mentored by me, I suppose it's access to information. If you talk about me specifically, I think we all have a responsibility as business people to produce content that is edifying to the community. So what I would like to say is not just about me, but to all business owners or anybody who's been an overcomer, is to open yourself up and share the content of your life. Because when people identify with you, they'll look at, let's say, for example, me today. There might be a girl on the other side of this camera today that says, you know what, I also have a teenage mother. I also grew up in a single parent family. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. But actually, there's a lady on the other side of the camera. She made it through all of that. There might be a widow watching today who say, you know what, I also lost my husband. I know what it feels like to have lost a family, lost a home, lost a business. But there sits a woman who made it through to the other side. If she can do it, so can I. God is no respecter of person. What he did for me, I'm no one special. He can do for anybody else who's watching this program. I think what is going on in the world is that there is a continuum of good people, and that we must not be blindsided by the negativity that we see and read and hear, but tap into a huge reserve of good people, of abundance, of prosperity. I had a friend who passed away recently. He always used to say this to me, wherever I look, Shereen, I just see abundance. I was like, wow, I wish I could see that, because I'm not always seeing that. But he had tuned his mind in that he saw abundance in everything. So I think the abundance is there, the fruitfulness is there, the goodness is there. We have to train our minds and train our eyes to identify it. I think there's still a lot more good in the world than bad, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't be sitting here. I think we have to retrain our brain to be able to pick up all the good stuff, and also through our own prayer life or meditation, whatever it is that you do, that you tap into something much greater than yourself in terms of your divine inspiration.
Willie Nelson says we create our own unhappiness, and the purpose of suffering is to make us understand that we are the one who caused it. Admit, wash your face, and set sail once more towards your coveted goals. I promise you, you can still achieve your goals. A short break is needed on Gold. We are certainly coming back. Keep it here and keep it golden. The Arabian proverb says it all. If you have much, give of your wealth. If you have little, give of your heart. Please plant a tree today, because someone is going to sit under the shade of the tree tomorrow. In other words, the true meaning of life is to plant a tree under whose shade you do not plan to sit. Do something that someone somewhere will benefit from. Let your heart be golden. Help somebody today, help somebody tomorrow, and help somebody every single day. Be kind.
My name is Phylis Malupe. I am the founder and executive director of Pilani Community Development Programs in Zirbekom, Western Area, Gauteng, and now they call it Western Corridor. Welcome, the Gold. Pilani is your home for today. We are going to be together and interact, and you will know Pilani better. The Gold should know that this is not a business, it's a community project. And our lives changed when we saw that there is HIV and AIDS problem. We saw 300 orphans because of HIV and AIDS. And we didn't believe until we went house to house in Simunye. We started the whole area of Simunye from Bekasdal, and we saw that children were orphans. And we started now organizing ourselves to go to sponsors, to go to South Deep. The most pathetic part was that we discovered 7 children alone. They could not even bury the mother. The mother was in the mortuary for 2 months. They couldn't bury. And it was a stigma from the neighbors that she died of HIV. So no one wanted to get near her. We approached the Star, we approached South Deep Mine, who assisted us. And in that way, we got more sponsors like EPAP to assist the children. From the late Basil, may his soul rest in peace. He assisted us, he became our main stakeholder. And we went now to the municipality to assist with the burial. Now we believe that HIV and AIDS is real. And another factor was when the children were carried by a mother who brought them here at Pilani. She said, I quote, "I've heard that there is a center here that can help me. I'm going to Leratong, I'm going to hospital because I'm HIV AIDS positive. And if my children, if I die in hospital, never transfer my children, keep them until I come back. If I don't come back, keep them and grow them up." And that's what we did. You will see the child is here, one of them passed on. The other one is here, he's a driver. From age 5, he is still with us at age 23. Yes, Pilani is life. That's what it means. Pilani is life. And we are here to encourage and motivate even the upcoming youth to dedicate their lives to assist people. After 20 years, I had to write a book that says Deserted Citizens of the West. That's how I found them. But today, it's a different situation. So I want them to dedicate their lives to assist people. People are hungry outside. Even when we don't get funding, you can see that this child is hungry. Hence, we even cook. We have a nutrition program here to cook for our students because some of them don't even get a slice of bread from home. So I motivate everyone who is in the darkest corner. Never give up. Perseverance is the mother of success. Right now, we have children that we have grown from being our beneficiaries. They are even working at social development. They are working in the big banks. So that's the fulfillment that we get. That is our best wealth that we can say is our legacy in life. So what I asked from Oprah was that if she can buy the whole school, all the children from the poor families, school uniform. And she did that. That's what she did.
I can't tell you how many things we went through for gold to become a reality. A lot of deceptions, a lot of objections, a lot of rejections, a lot of disappointments, a lot of doubts. But here we are. Gold is inspiring the world and making this world a better place for everybody. Be inspired by the golden nugget of the day, because it is for you to grow.
My name is Alison Meyer, and I'm so pleased to be back here on Gold. Just like gold, years ago when we started our company, we had so much laughter thrown in our face. What on earth do those two know about running a company? Was what we heard. And we had to overcome all of that. We had to dig deep. We had to just put one foot in front of the other, especially for the first 3 years. So just like you, we've had to navigate a journey of becoming. And what I believe about gold is gold had to fight to also be seen, be heard, and spread its message. And now gold has become gold. It's become the gold of courageous conversation. It's become the gold of change makers making a difference. And it's become the gold of hope in this country and beyond, where so many people are polarized, demoralized, and divided. And so gold has become a symbol of hope, a symbol of healing, and a symbol of contribution. A contribution to change the very state of this nation and to breathe hope into so many of those young people, desperate to make a difference, but not knowing where to begin, not knowing how. And so gold is the wisdom of creating future change makers, the leaders of this nation. I'll see you on the next episode of Gold.
According to Winston Churchill, we make a living by what we get, and we make a life by what we give. Try to make a life. Let us go for another beautiful break on Gold, and when we come back, we'll dare to do the undone right here on Gold. Keep it here and keep it golden. I have told you before, my golden viewers of Gold, our champions are not those people who never had any challenges in their lives. They are people who went through a lot of troubles, challenges and tribulations and trials, but are able to fight through and be whoever they are today. A golden champion of the day is still here, inspiring souls on Gold. You too can be a champion by dint of hard work, dedication, prayers, determination, sheer providence, and with the help of Almighty, the Most High. A golden champion is ready. Let's go for gold with our champion.
For me, success starts with health. Your health is your wealth. You can do nothing outside of being healthy in your body and healthy in your mind. It's the foundation. For me, that is number one. Number two, I think a peaceful life is, for me, the second thing. Is it doesn't matter how much money you have or how much wealth or material things you may accrue in your life. If you don't have peace, if you're living in a beautiful home, driving a beautiful car with your kids in a private school, but you don't have peace in your home, I think it loses its value. So health and then peace. The third part, obviously, is not just the presence of peace, but the presence of true love. I'm going to say something now that is very, very controversial. You'll forgive me. I often say, for some people, men and women, marriage is modern-day prostitution because they marry for money and not for love, which means you will spend the rest of your life on your back for the roof over your head and the food on your table. I spend my life committed to inspiring men and women not to do that to their own soul, but to marry for true love, even if it means you will live a less material life. There's nothing better than being truly in love. So that for me is a big part of success. And all the other things, they're nice to have. They come and they go. Money over the course of a life will come and it will go. It will come and it will go. But if you have health and peace and true love in your life, you can handle all the things that come and go. Everything else is really temporal. So here are my 4 pillars for success. Definitely God first. Put first the kingdom of God and all the rest will be added unto you. Number 2, look after yourself. You cannot give from an empty cup. Look after your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual life. Number 3, do for others what was done for you, sowing and reaping. Insofar as people helped you over the course of your life, be sure to remember to give back to the community. And number 4, to thine own self be true. Be honest with yourself over the course of a lifetime about what you want. Because if you are happy about the choices that you make, you live without regrets. So my advice for gold would be aim higher. I think a lot of entrepreneurs or people who have their own businesses box themselves in. Don't be scared to knock on doors. Go as high as you can. The worst that you can get is a no. And keep distributing the content, because where I see a lot of people get stuck is they create amazing content, but they don't get the content out. So the biggest turning point in my life definitely would have been the day I found out my husband was dying. It had to be the biggest, because when he was diagnosed, we didn't go see the doctor and the doctor said, your husband is sick, we can give him treatment, we can do this, there was no hope. The first day my husband saw a doctor, the doctor said, this man is dying, there is no hope. I can never explain to anybody what that feels like. It was the cruelest and the kindest thing that anybody had ever said. Cruel, because by the time he was diagnosed with cancer, it was so far spread through his body. He was asymptomatic. He didn't know he was sick. He weighed over 100 kilos. He trained twice a day in the gym. There was no sign that he was sick. In fact, when he was sick, he said, no, they've misdiagnosed me. It's not possible. I feel healthy. I'm active. So it was like shocking and cruel that it was found so late. It was also kind because we could start preparing immediately for what was to come. Kind because I've seen families fall apart when there's an accident possibly, or a suicide, or something like that, where the family has no time to prepare. It was a tragedy, but out of that tragedy emerged the woman that I am today. Grateful for the business, even if it has its ups and downs. Grateful for life, even if it has its ups and downs, because from the moment you find out you are dying, you start appreciating living. I don't want to wait for that day, King. So a short inspirational story. I'd like to tell the story of a friend of mine, and I'll call her by name because she shares the story on public platforms. Her name is Florinda Daniel. She's an Angolan descent living in South Africa. She was one of the directors, or is still one of the directors, in a non-profit company that we founded together called It's Not About Me. She dedicated her life to uplifting community. A few years ago, after working late one night on the way home, she was mugged and raped and left for dead. This is a woman who's given her life to community service and ministry. She had a decision to make 4 years ago to ask, why me? How could this happen to me? She's never been married, doesn't have children, absolutely sold out for community. Her life is my biggest testimony, because did she go through a hard time surviving the rape? I was at the hospital the night that it happened to see her there. Her face was the size, double its size. She was beaten with a brick. She was almost unrecognizable. She went through a lot in the first year or two after, but today, that lady, tiny, she takes me shoulder height, stands on platforms around our city talking about using your voice for good, taking what happened, not being subject, not being a victim, but rising up, sharing your story and encouraging other women. Florinda is my probably ultimate in terms of what you can overcome. And it's amazing if you have the opportunity to listen to her testimony one day, to listen to it. You cannot believe that she's come out the other side of it, full of joy, full of faith, full of hope, and still helping other people.
My golden viewers of gold, it is better to conquer yourself than to win a thousand's battle. Because when you conquer yourself, the victory is yours. It cannot be taken away from you, not by angels or demons, heaven or hell. In conquering yourself, you must be educated, you must be appreciated, you must be empowered, you must be inspired, and that is why gold will always be here for you. I'll see you next time on Gold. Go forth and prosper and go for gold.